I'm Cristy Code Red, and you're listening to Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle, where we believe food holds the power to heal or poison, and we believe our society has been misled regarding proper nutrition and weight loss. You're in the right place if you're looking for some straight up truth, because I'm here to shed light on the lies and brainwashing that has taken place over the past 5 decades. Thanks so much for listening. Welcome back to Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. Everybody, hi. I am your host, Cristy Code Red, but I am joined, and I'm so glad, I am joined by Carrie Thompson, my second in command. She's running Code Red. Thank you, Carrie, for being on here.
Cristy, I think that this has become, hands down, my most favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, I love getting to talk to you, of course, and then getting to see you and talk to people. And you know, your podcast, of course, is super high rated anyway. But when we do these podcasts together, people love it. I don't know if it's just like the yin and yang or what.
Well, you know what Dad told Mom? Told Mom, Mom finally got him started on listening to our podcast. And he was just like, well, now how do I do it? You know, like Dad, like this. Now, how do I do it, honey? You know, like, and so
hold it way out.
Dad said, yeah, right. Holding it way out to here. I'm sorry. Jesus, forgive me for making fun of old people. All right. So Dad said, well, now I can hardly tell the two of them apart. Yeah, I know. I can't either.
Wait a minute. You're our father. You fathered us and you can't tell us apart. Well, then I guess you better watch the YouTube recording.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, right. Speaking of YouTube, Carrie, you know what I'm wearing right now? You know, and those of you watching YouTube, you can see that I don't wear glasses, but
I have Swannies.
I am wearing my Swanwick sleepwear glasses. So for those of you listening on podcasts, that's awesome. I'm going to describe it to you. But those of you listening on watching on YouTube, I have on my classic daywear Swanwick glasses. And we partnered up with Swanwick, which is an Australian-owned, great family-owned company a few months ago, because sleep is so important. And so they make several different kind of glasses, but our two main glasses that Carrie and I use, and every member of our staff and all of our coaches and all of our rebels, is the daywear and the nightwear. Right now I'm wearing the daywear glasses to reduce eye strain from the screens and from the blue light, but then they make a tinted lens for nightwear, and it drastically reduces what the blue light that blocks your melatonin and prevents you from sleeping.
Oh, they are amazing. And you know, I just think that sometimes everyone's like, what? But when you think about it, we are in front of technology so much these days, Cristy. Your phones, your computer, when you go to the doctor's office, everyone's got a screen. They have a screen in that room. When you go to the grocery store, there's screens. When you go to the bank, there's 3 or 4 screens you have to look at. You are exposed to blue light all the time, and it really messes up your circadian rhythms. It's not good for your brain. You know, really, we were never engineered to be around blue light. So our human brains are not used to that. You know, maybe someday we will evolve, you know, like in the cave in Kentucky here that I was in, they have an eyeless fish. Well, that took a few years to become eyeless because it's so dark in a cave, they don't need eyes. So maybe someday we'll be adapted to blue light. But for now, you need Swannies. Come on.
It's really screwing us up. And so what Code Red can offer you, which we're so thankful for this and excited, if you go to Swanwick Sleep, Swan, SWANWICK sleep.com, and you want to order a pair of their Swannies, that's the nickname for them, and you enter the code Red, you're going to get 15% off.
Yeah, that's a good chunk of money.
Yeah, and for now, I'm going to go ahead and put them up on my head because they provide there's a glare in the camera. But when I know, well, we're on our devices 16 hours a day. Right, I know Carrie and I are, you know. So,
Cristy, I'll drive across town for 10% off. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I love to save money. 15% goes a long way at Swanwick. So I wanted to show you guys all that. Definitely get your glasses. Carrie, I wanted to read before we get into this awesome podcast.
Okay.
We've got 363 ratings so far on the podcast, which, by the way, has not been out very long. I think we're on episode 20 something at the time of this recording. Here is a 5-star rating called Thank You. I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to this person, but it's I did just a bunch of letters and numbers. KLD 98371. Recently, my daughter expressed having social anxiety because she was caring too much about what other people thought about her. I sent her your podcast, Nobody Cares as Much as You Think. And I told her to listen to it. I'm so thankful to have you in my life, Cristy, and now my daughter's life. You give such good words of wisdom and cut straight to the chase. I appreciate everything that you're doing, not just for me, but for everyone. God bless you and your team. Kendra in Puyallup. Puyallup, Washington. So, am I saying it wrong?
Puyallup.
Okay, got it.
They're all going to be like messaging us.
Yeah. We're going to be like, dear Dakota. So thank you, Kendra. And I'm so thankful that your daughter was able to find. Here is Mama Jack 71 says, love being a rebel. Amen. Code red forever. And we'll just go ahead and read one more, sis, because I know this is from two, you guys in your names. I think it's Pimple Smiles. Two Pimple Smiles gave us 5 stars. Thank you for that. And the caption says, Rebel for Life, Cristy is so real and has the biggest heart. Her passion for this, her life's work is awe-inspiring. I just signed up for my 4th challenge so I can get these last pounds off. I have literally been maintaining, not in maintenance, for the last 10 months, and it's time to get recommitted. These podcasts are great support. Thank you, Cristy. You are a lifeline. Thank you so much to Pimple Smiles for your awesome review. Boy, I could just go on and on. I see another one that says, you saved me. Oh, come on. Oh, no. I love when you guys...
You're going to listen to something when you're driving, Cristy. Either you could listen to somebody yakking it up on a station, or you could turn on a podcast and learn something. Cristy, that's why you and I are so into furthering our education and staying up on the things with this lifestyle and nutrition and health and science, because I'm going to listen to something while I'm sitting there doing work. I might as well. Why not? You know?
It's funny because people always like, what music motivates you when you work out, when you run? I listen to books on audio, business books, or I'll listen to podcasts. I mean, look at this. I got to show you guys. This is what is on. So this is Joyce Meyer. I'm holding the phone up to the camera. I was working my way through a podcast called What is Sin Part 1. And so guys, this is what I listen to. I mean, I don't do the music thing, but anyway, thank you all so much for your ratings, your reviews. Thank you for going out of your way to tell us how we're doing and to give us love. It makes us really feel good, and just we really take it to heart. So thank you.
Yeah. Sometimes we feel like we're in a dark basement just doing these recordings.
Yeah, right.
Those of you that can't see, I'm in my basement. It's dark because it is super hot outside. So I am just keeping all the lights off and keeping it cool.
So today we're going to talk about, and Annabelle just walked up. She pushed the door open. We have new doors installed to make my living room into an office. And she just walked up to my leg and pressed against me. And now let me just see if she's going to lay down. Okay, she is. She wants in, she wants out. Guys, we want to talk about introducing Code Red to your family and what to do when ain't nobody on board with you.
Yeah. Cristy, are we talking more? Do you want to think of it like immediate family, or do you want to think about extended family? What do you think?
In my mind, I think they're going to be the best, and we can talk about both, but let's definitely hit on immediate family, people that live in your household.
Boy, howdy. I think we got, get ready, everybody. The truth bombs are coming.
Yeah. You know, and it's hard because one of our biggest rules when you first get on Code Red is you've got to clear out the pantry, because Carrie and I are both proximity eaters, and most of us are. If it's in your house, it doesn't matter. Your willpower will wane, especially at the end of the day, and you will eat it. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when you have a weak moment. We both have weak moments. I'm telling you, you're going to reach for it. So cleaning out your pantry is job one. Well, how do you clean out your pantry when you've got spouse and kids that eat Pop-Tarts and goldfish crackers?
And this could go the other way. You know, we've certainly had rebel husbands that have lost quite a bit of weight and the wives were not on board, or partners. So, you know, we're not saying husband and wife. So it could be partners as well. If your partner, your significant other, the person you decide to spend this part of your life with does not on board, it makes it tough, even if you're a single mom or a single dad and your kids aren't on board. Different situations, though. It's a different situation if someone who helps pay for the household that is a part owner isn't on board, then the children that you support are on board. So in my mind, Cristy, those are kind of different situations.
Yeah, right. And you could be a roommate situation. So let's take the spouse. Let's take the spouse or the significant other, your partner.
Right.
You guys both pay 50-50 of the house, and we're just going to say 50-50. Right. Obviously, there's different situations for different people, but so let's say you are going to make a change in your diet, and you don't want to be around the crap anymore, but your partner doesn't want to, and you're 50%. So my kind of harsh Cristy, very black and white way to look at this is look, because I live with a man who doesn't eat Code Red. So
I'm laughing because we've had this discussion. I'm not laughing. I love Miles. I think he's amazing. So I'm not laughing.
Miles, and it pisses me off. I'm sorry, Jesus. It pisses me off because he has 6-pack abs. And he's not a garbage gut, but gosh darn it, he's not Code Red. And it's not right. It's not fair. So
not fair, because you and I gotta be careful. These guys, It's not fair at all. So, but life isn't fair. They're also not this beautiful either.
Even at 60 years old, he's just he still has the adequate amount of testosterone. He still has good lean mass on his body. He still has a high metabolism. He's still so. Well, so I take that. Let me tell you what my view, and Carrie, you might want to soften it, or you might be on board with what I say. If you are a spouse or a partner of somebody, you have got 50-50 owner of that house. Therefore, you've got 50-50 say so on what is left in the house and what's in that kitchen and fridge. So if that that partner's got to come your way a little bit. I mean, if you're saying, hey, come on, why are you bringing the Josefina, the chips home, and Rosalia, those really good Mexican restaurant chips, why are you bringing those home? Those tempt me, you got to be able to find a middle ground on this.
I think it needs to be a discussion. I don't think it needs to be you're going to do it my way and we're going to get rid of all the crap in the house. And I think it needs to be a discussion. And I know with my husband, when I was eating Code Red before, but when we really buckled down, he was okay with that. But it wasn't like, I'm going to tell you how the grass is going to grow. I definitely was like, okay, what do you think is negotiable? And he was like, can I still have rice? Of course, he's not in weight loss mode. He can have rice, a small amount. Again, this is not a Code Red weight loss approved food, but that was a sacrifice or a halfway. I'm not going to cook up rice. I don't like it. Now, if Cristy were married to my husband, she'd be like, get the rice out of the house because I love rice. But it's not a thing for me. So I think there's a give and take with that discussion. Don't just assume, let's make a discussion. And you know what? The other thing, Cristy, sometimes they've heard you do this 25 times. And do I think Code Red will be different? Absolutely. Do I think this is the time you're going to take your life back? Yes. Do I believe you're committed? Yes. But you got to realize that your significant other has maybe heard you do this so many times. I'm going to take this pill. I'm going to start going to the gym. I'm going to start with this shake. I have this special patch I'm going to put on my arm. Starting Monday, we're getting rid of all the crap. So they just might not believe you. Keep that in mind. And I'm not judging you, not judging them, but you got to keep that in mind. There's that dynamic in play.
Broken promise after broken promise after broken commitment after broken commitment. The great thing about Code Red is it's real food, water, and sleep. It is the proper human diet. It is what we were designed to eat. It is what we've been eating for a millennia until processed food came along. But you're right. I mean, that's so it doesn't go out of style. It's not a fad, but you're right. I didn't even think about that part.
Well, they might have. Cassie. Can we tell that story?
Yeah, Cassie, our Cassie
Adams, our chief compliance officer. She, because she had how much weight did she lose, Cristy, in 4 months?
75 pounds in 4 months.
75 pounds in 4 months. Y'all, she ain't bigger than a minute. I'm just saying. And Cassie did not, and again, she loves her husband. She wasn't keeping anything from him, but because she had tried so many things and failed, guess what she did? She kept her mouth shut when she started Code Red. She didn't say a word. She just did it. And then once her testimony became obvious, He was inspired, and then it was easier to get the stuff out of the house. Do you see what I mean? And now they're both amazing Code Red people. We've had her husband at many events. He's an ambassador. She is an amazing staff that we couldn't live without. So, I mean, do you see what I mean? Like, she let herself be the example. So instead of being like, oh, and cleaning out everything and making everybody mad and causing a big fight, there are lots of different ways, but one way may be what Cristy said. Hey, I'm 50%. You need to come part way. The other way may be, I'm going to do this for a couple weeks, and then I'm going to let how I look and how I feel and my attitude and how much better I'm sleeping and how much better I feel about myself be the testimony to maybe start that talk about let's get the junk out of the house.
I like that. And we did have a client once who finally she would do really well and then she'd fall off. And finally, and I tell the story a lot. We identified that she was sneaking into, when she was having a moment, her husband's junk food. So I said, well, could you have a conversation with your husband? And he had no idea that his junk food was causing her to stumble because they never talked about it. So man, I totally agree with you. I would love to, and start it and prove yourself, prove it to yourself and and then maybe sit down and say, all right, here's the deal. This is really working for me.
Right.
Can we keep your junk food in a Rubbermaid bin in the garage? Or can we keep it? Miles keeps, Carrie, let me make sure he's not listening. Miles keep. Miles keeps, I found tortilla chips in his office, like in a little hidden spot, not tortilla chips, corn chips. So I was sitting in his office.
Fritos, like
Fritos, the kind that you would scoop a chili or something, And I was sitting in his leather chair talking about something. I look over and I see like jammed in a crack between the wall and his desk. There were Frito chips, right? And I go, what is this? And he goes, don't look over there, like that. But you know what he's doing? He stashes it in his office, and I never.
But you, Cristy, would not, even in a moment of weakness, go down to his office and eat that, would you?
I would never even go into his office.
I had a child. Our niece, Ellie, lived with us when she was just getting ready to leave high school. And she would be like, Aunt Carrie, I'm going to go get this horrible thing I didn't want her to eat. And I would be like, that's fine, but keep it in your room. I would not go into Ellie's room and go and search for this thing and eat it. But if it were downstairs in the pantry, I would have totally eaten it. So I'm like Cristy, the client Cristy was talking about. As long as it is packaged up and somewhere separate, I do fine. So there's nothing wrong. If your spouse, your significant other is not on board, pack it up, put it out in their garage, put it in a Rubbermaid tote. If you need to write on there, whatever your name is, Betty, no. Or not for Betty, not for Bob, whatever that stops you, a red tote, and you go, oh, okay, well, seriously, it's not mine. That for me really works. I'm like Cristy. If there's a bowl of M&M's sitting up, I'm going to eat them. It's a proximity, but I won't leave right now after this podcast and go get M&M's at the store. I wouldn't even think to do that.
Yeah, it really helps. And Miles knows he kept whatever, because he knows I love chips, and he kept him in his office. And I found little things, but I don't ever go. It just was a smart move all the way around, because there's no junk in our actual pantry and things that I would eat. There's nothing in there. So I'm so thankful about that. So that's an idea. But if you have a partner who is not code red and not on board, and maybe doesn't believe it, and maybe even kind of trash talks you and says, oh, another bullcrap diet you're going to waste our family money on, or whatever, however far they take it. The worst thing you can do is say anything about it. Let your testimony speak. Let your actions speak. Your commitment speak.
Oh, they'll ask.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like everybody in your life. When they see you losing weight, we had a relative, I won't say who, just in case people listening, and this person has lost a significant amount of weight with Code Red, and none of the other family, Cristy, was saying anything. And I said to this person, oh, they noticed. Oh. They don't want to say anything because they're jelly. That's my personal opinion. So trust me, your spouse, your significant other, your husband, your wife, they're going to notice. Oh, yes, they will. So you just need to walk the walk.
Walk the walk. And you were just talking about Cassie and Tim. Tim, when we would do it, when I've done many interviews with Cassie and Tim about how the whole thing happened, the first thing Tim said was not, I started to catch on when I noticed her weight loss. No, he says, I started to catch on and ask questions when I noticed her attitude change.
Really?
Yes. He says, I just noticed she was acting different. She was happier. She had more energy. She was up earlier in the morning. That's when I noticed that something was different. And so I started to look into, and then I asked her, Cassie, what's going on? And she said, well, I've been on this Code Red thing and I've dropped 18 pounds so far. And he was like, oh my God. But that's not the first thing they've noticed. So they're going to know, though. They notice. Don't make any mistake. People are watching. Your spouse is watching. Your kids are watching. Your mother-in-law is watching. Your sister's watching. Your neighbor sees you when you get the mail. They notice. The worst thing you could do is nag them.
Nag them. Don't make it your fight. Don't make it your fight. It's just like going to an event with family, extended family, and they're like, "Why are you drinking that water? You're gonna flood your kidneys." And meh. Don't argue. I give a talk on what to do when you get to your doctors. And I tell my clients, our Code Red clients, don't argue with your doctors. Don't try to argue the science. I mean, just let your numbers, let your body, your BMI, let your weight, let your other lab work, let that be the testimony. Just don't, it's not worth it. I personally don't think that's a battle. What does the Bible say? It's better to live in a hovel alone than in a mansion with a woman who's nagging you or
nagging. Okay. Right.
Sorry, Proverbs. I just kind of butchered that. Can somebody look up that? But it's true. You'd rather live in nothing than someone who's just nagging you constantly. I think if it's a spouse or a significant other, just let them do, and you just let this be the catalyst to say, this time it's going to be different. This time, Ed, things are going to be different. Bob or whatever the name is, whatever, Bill, I don't care.
Like John Chris says, okay, Karen. He always says Karen.
He always uses Karen. We love him. Anyway.
So that's how we would deal with partners. Right. When it comes to kids. Now, Carrie has kids. I do not. I'll say what I think, and I think Carrie's going to agree. But guys, you can take what she says to the bank because she has kids. When it comes to kids, guys, do not make a big deal about the change. Slowly replace their Pop-Tarts, their Goldfish crackers, their Eggos with Code Red waffles. So don't say anything. Don't make a big deal about it.
I agree. Cristy, I'm using the eyebrow. Can everyone see that? My kids say, Mom, how do you do that? Mama, I've been practicing. I can't do that. I'm like, oh, this is years of being aggravated at kids right here.
And for those of you listening, not watching, she's raising one eyebrow way up and looking at the camera. It's funny.
We all have that look. All that to say, hey, that is what Cristy's saying is right on. Ultimately, you're the boss. Ultimately, this is going to sound harsh, Cristy. I don't know if I can say it.
Do it, sis. Do it.
If your child ends up with diabetes, that's you. Yeah, that's you. I mean, it really is. And you know what? I'm in a situation where I have a child that struggles with some issues. I don't think that they'll ever listen to this. And, weight being one of them. And I say to myself, if this child ends up with diabetes, because she's beat her pancreas up because she's been allowed, when not with me, to eat whatever she wants, what do? That's on me. So ultimately, even though you're trying to be a great mom, we're really not there to be their friends. Ultimately, you have to protect their health. You really don't want them to come see us. And there are two different lines. I like what Cristy says about gradual, and I don't think you have to make a big deal of it. I'll tell you, even though I do this job and my daughter, Anne-Marie, can recite to you all the Code Red, she knows what Code Red foods aren't. She knows what Code Red foods are. She thinks when Aunt Cristy goes away that she's going to be the next Code Red. That's what she thinks. She also wants to be a Disney Imagineer. I told her she needs to learn her 9 times tables. Okay. Yeah. But all that to say, even though she knows all that, we don't talk about weight. We talk about healthy choices. And if you guys can just take that as the stance you take with your children, depending on the age. Healthy fuel. Little Billy, you want to do great in the basketball game today. Let's give your body some pepperoni and some cream cheese, and let's give your body, some good yummy water and maybe, some olives. Though that's fuel, Billy, for the game instead of fueling with something else. And you got to take the age they're at. We talk about healthy choices all the time with Anne-Marie. We'll go to the store, and if she wants something to eat, I'll say, well, what's a healthy choice? And she'll be like, okay. And she gets the pack of hard-boiled eggs. Or those little protein packs. Again, not ideal, but when you're in those situations. So I like the idea of making changes gradually and just slowly moving those things out. I like the idea of talking to them about healthy choices and what kind of, and empowering them to make the choice. And then I like this idea. And I mean, this is going to shock some of you. Okay, it's deep. No. There
you go.
You can't have Pop Rocks. No, you can't have Pepsi. No, you do not need to eat a Twinkie before you go to bed.
Ooh.
In the words of Carol Terhurst, our mother, if you drink some water and go to sleep, you won't be hungry. I'm just saying, that's what we heard all the time growing up. Cristy, am I wrong or am I wrong?
Oh my gosh.
Did you not say that?
And parents, let me tell you, moms and dads, don't bring it home. Stop buying it. Do you honestly think that those kids can turn it down if it's here at home? Nobody can turn it down if it's here at home.
And now I want to just clarify, I'm not some Nazi parent that is not letting my child ever. I'm not. One time back when I was heavy, Cristy, I met this dietitian and her kids came over to play with my kids, and I had Cheetos because I was a quality mother back then. And the little boys that were the dietitian's kids said, "Are these carrot sticks?" And I thought, oh, these kids did not know what Cheetos were. Well, you know what? Props to that mom. Now Fat Carrie was like, I think someone should call child protection because those children don't know what a Cheeto is. But back then, I didn't see the significance of what this woman had to do to protect her children from eating the junk food because they were the same age as my kids. And trust me, my kids knew all about Cheetos back then. So, I think that it's a matter of perspective. And now I'm just like, the answer is no. Now, again, I don't say no to everything all the time. At school, when they do well, they call it clipping up. They're going to give her something. Am I going to write a note to the school and tell them that she can't have that one little now and later? No, I'm not. Come on. But at home, I can control what takes place. In her packed lunch, I can control what takes place. But you know what she does get, Cristy? Once a week, she can pick a school lunch. And she comes home and says, I made good choices, Mom. I had the fresh fruit, again, is fine for kids. I had the fresh fruit instead of the canned fruit because I know there's sugar in it. And she says, I got a baked potato, but I didn't eat the whole thing. Again, she's a kid, different situation. But do you see what I mean? Yeah. Let's get them to be critical thinkers. Let's move them along that road of learning how to be critical thinkers. Is she perfect? No. Does she want candy? Yes. But,
when I speak to kids groups and when I speak to kids in general, they want to be healthy. They want to take control. And so I find that educating the kids really helps them understand why we do not eat the sugar. It is toxic to our bodies. It really is. Oh my gosh. And so if educating them, and also we find that if you can have your kid have choices, would you like the salami? Or would you like the blank or the blank? Which
I like that.
Protein do you want? Which piece of fruit do you want? Which type of nut do you want?
And make it fun, Cristy. Anne-Marie, and I'm only using Anne-Marie as an example, guys, because she's the only one left at home. Everyone else is gone. But she loves a salad. She also loves this awesome garlic vinaigrette that we have. She loves it. She says, Mama, that smells like garlic and oil in a bottle. I'm like, that's because it is. And guess what? If she wants that on her salad, oh yeah, I'll go buy as many bottles as that child wants because she's eating spinach, she's eating carrots, she's eating green salad, not just iceberg. I know. It's amazing. But you have to let them have ketchup, but grab the sugar-free ketchup, guys. It's
go.
about these small insidious changes that I think make such a big difference down the road.
Yeah, and we also know, I know my mom, my mom's not the only one to ever come up with this tip, but she's really adamant about letting your child help make the food.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I do.
And they'll take ownership of it.
Yeah, make it fun. Like today when Anne-Marie got home from school, she was hungry. So I took those little silicone, and trust me, I'm no Pinterest mom. Okay, let's make that clear. I mean, one of our coaches was making a piñata, and I was like, wow, like that is I cannot be doing that kind of stuff. But I just took the little silicone baking cups, Cristy, and I put 5 of them on her little plate. And then I just did like a couple of olives in one, a couple of chunks of this and the other. I mean, and she just was like, oh, and she ate the same stuff as she would have been like, if I just put it on the plate. So, does it take a little bit of effort? Yes. Do you have to make butterflies in the shape of berries? No, you don't. I mean, I'm not, come on, folks. There's only so many hours in the day.
Right. I notice those moms sometimes, like you said, Pinterest mom, they're like doing these, oh my gosh, they do all these beautiful, fluffy, for their kids. My God, like the Mickey Mouse Code Red pancakes. All right, whatever's going to make them eat the code, But guys, you can do this. You can introduce your family to Code Red, and studies have shown that they get 2 healthy meals at home, it's enough to debunk whatever they're getting from their friends at school. So you can do this. Don't bring it home. Don't make a big deal about it. Be an example. Be a testimony. Don't say anything. Let your actions speak for themselves.
Yes, I agree. And it's okay to come up with a mid-road compromise. For instance, on the Code Red plan, you would not take sugar-free pudding and mix it with heavy whipping cream and eat that all day long because that would not be good. But for your 5-year-old, that's a great alternative to ice cream. I love that. So kind of realize that even though the people that are listening that are doing Code Red strict, you have your rules and regulations. They don't have to weigh and measure their food and have avocados with every meal. I mean, you got to kind of find that middle ground, guys, because you don't want to turn them off from it. I'll never forget, Cristy, and I think I've told this story, but when I was in high school, I felt like I had a weight problem. I went to mom and dad, as you know, we didn't have a lot of money growing up. She took me to some kind of program. They gave me a menu. And mom went, and again, we didn't buy meat at the grocery store. Let me make that clear, you guys. Like, we didn't go and buy meat. We had deer and elk and whatever was on the farm. My mom went and bought fish. And the only time we ever had fish is when we went fishing. And she came home and cooked it up because that was what they told us to eat on the menu. And so that has stuck in my mind, not only my mom's commitment to me and trying to help me, but we didn't try to adjust what we were already doing. The elk and deer at home was perfectly fine for me. So remember, what you have, sometimes you just need. We don't have to go buy the expensive fish at the store. They don't have to do exactly what you're doing, and you can still get great results.
When it comes to your family doing this, guys, we just asked you to get the kids off the sugar, the juice, the soda. We want them off of the sugar. They can do sugar-free popsicles. I had a parent say to me, so now my kid's not supposed to have a good summer, and I'm not supposed, and I'm taking away all his childhood memories because I don't let him have popsicles. No, you let him have sugar-free popsicles. We just want you to get the kids off the sugar. It's not a big deal.
I think, Cristy, if they can just take away, like you said, juice and pop, and I think the outright candy and the processed carby crap. So your chips, your ho-hos, your those kind of packaged, your fruit snacks, any of that kind of stuff, give them real fruit. Give them real fruit. Let them have real fruit. That is not a problem for these kids. And again, this is, can I have a fruit roll up? No, but you can have a scoop of strawberries with a little bit of stevia on it and some heavy whipping cream on top, a little bit for the mouth. They love that. I'm not saying that ever happens in our house. I've heard of it happening in Cristy's house. No, I'm teasing. But I mean, you don't have to go crazy and be like, we don't eat that crap in our house. We don't eat food. Do you know how many grams of sugar is in a fruit roll up? Come on now. Just because you can't have it. Try to kind of come up with alternatives for them. And that goes for your husband too. My husband loves banana pudding, Cristy. And so I'll get the sugar-free banana pudding, make it with heavy whipping cream. He thinks he's died and gone to heaven. He thinks I'm making some kind of dessert.
We're getting off the sugar. You're getting your family off the sugar. It's so easy to do these days, guys, with the monk fruit and the stevia. It's so easy to do with the sugar-free products out there. The market has risen to meet the demand of the people. The market will answer, and it has answered. Carrie and I went to KetoCon months ago, and there are so many sugar-free. There's no reason why your family needs to have sugar. So introducing them to Code Red is not hard, and getting them on the right path of good, healthy decisions is not hard. And when it comes to your extended family or your friends outside of the home, I would, like Carrie said, don't argue with them. Don't argue. They're going to ask you one of two questions. The first question one of two questions. It's going to be, why are you doing that? Oh, that just tells you they're not ready to hear. Don't even argue. Don't say anything. Or the second question is, hey, so what are you doing? What's going on here? They're going to ask you, why are you doing that? Or what are you doing?
Yes.
And one of them means, all right, 10-pound takedown challenge is coming up. Your friend is ready to get on that challenge and learn about how they can get healthy and take their life back. The other one is, you're just primed for an argument.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Cristy. And Rebels, you need to know what you're going to say when somebody asks you. I have a set line before I took this position, and it's something like, oh, I'm losing weight. Of course, this is because it was my sister. I'm following my sister's plan. Or you could just say something like, oh, I've been losing weight. I've been eating real food. I've been drinking water, and I've been sleeping. It's so simple. And if they're like, tell me more, you just say, oh, I just got rid of all that processed junk. You don't need to go, okay, when you're in the fat burning mode, you'll find that your body processes. You just come up with your line, and that is your line. Memorize it, use it. You just don't need to go there. It gummies things up, and people don't want to hear it. All people really want to hear is Weight Watchers, weight loss surgery, oh, I'm taking Fin. Wait, I thought that was off the market. Oh, I got it at the doctor down the road. I mean, they just want to hear what you're doing. Like Cristy said, when they have the right attitude, then they'll be like, really tell me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just have your line, just know it, and it'll make your life so much easier.
And guys, once again, it starts with you. And it starts with you when you get on Code Red and you get off the crap. Your body starts functioning the way you were designed, the proper human diet. Right. Your skin is going to glow. You're going to have energy. You're going to sleep better. You're going to have a better attitude. You're going to and the weight is going to be falling off, and your rings are going to fit looser. Everything in your life changes. Your eyes are brighter. You just have a spring in your step. And that's when people start to notice, and that's when they're going to ask you. And so when it comes to your family, just be the testimony, and then they're going to come to you when they're ready. But as far as your kids goes, guys, we give you a lot of great tips and tricks for that. It's not difficult. It's not hard. Don't make it harder than it is. And your spouse will be watching you. Be cool with that. Just understand where your spouse is coming from. If they're like we have a cousin who spent $14,000 on diets over the course of 10 years. Yeah, your spouse is going to be a little bit skeptical if that's you. I mean, understand where they're coming from. You're spending family money on failed diets. So maybe they're going to be a little skeptical, and don't fault them for that.
And the main thing you don't want to do, folks, is you don't want to be in the church potluck line with your plate being like, none of this crap is Code Red.
Oh.
That's not Code Red. That's not Code Red. It's just, let me tell you, you'll make some enemies. I've seen people do it. Don't talk about it. Put your hard-boiled eggs on your plate. Yep. Put your veggies on your plate. Put your portion of meat on your plate, and just go sit down and visit. Don't make it a thing. Don't make it a thing. It's so, and sometimes my daughter will, and she hears Code Red. She'll be like, Mom, none of this food is Code Red. And I'm like, yes, sweetie, I know. Like, I get it. It's just really funny.
And another thing, remember, don't judge other people in the grocery store when you look in their shopping carts. That upsets me. I hear Rebels that go through a challenge, a 10-pound takedown challenge. I'm shamelessly plugging 10poundtakedown.com. And they go through a challenge, and the veil is lifted. They know, and now they're like, I can't believe the people, and I can't believe people actually say things to other people in the line of the Winco. So you actually eat that? You really need to switch to code red. Dear God, please don't do that. Don't, unless the situation presents itself to you to where you can share. I mean, nobody wants Christ shoved down their throat. Like, the people, the Bible beaters and the people, the TV evangelists or the people on the corner screaming at you, you need to get saved, and like nobody wants to hear that. Same thing with code red. Nobody wants to hear it. Guys, don't judge others. You were there once. Don't forget that. When they're
I'm very cringy, Cristy, when I see those things, because think of the Matrix, okay? And think of when the red pill and the blue pill. What was his name?
Oh, Neo? I don't know.
Neo. So think of Neo. Neo didn't go back into the Matrix and walk around and go, you're in a Matrix. Everybody, you need to understand, none of this is real. You're hooked up to a machine. He didn't do that, okay? Just because he now knew about the Matrix, he can't unsee the Matrix. Code Red Rebels, you can't unsee the truth. You know the truth now. You understand what everyone should be doing and should be eating. You can't go back into the Matrix and tell everyone, why aren't you code red, and yell at people. You're just going to aggravate. My mother-in-law so sweetly said to me, why don't you carry cards and give them out to people when you're at the gym? Well, no, I'm going to get kicked out of the gym.
Oh my gosh.
Let me just tell you, when I was heavy, if someone would have given me the card, I would have given them 2 thumbs up, but not my thumbs, if you know what I'm saying.
Yep,
so,
exactly.
You just remember that just because you have seen the Matrix doesn't mean everyone else has, and it's going to take them some time. So again, let your example, let the fact that you walk the walk be the testimony they need to ask you about what's going on in your life.
I love that. And I think that's a great place to end. A reminder, guys, swanwicksleep.com. I've been wearing the glasses, 15% off when you enter code red into the coupon code at the end at checkout. By the way, you're going to actually put them in your cart. You're going to go to the cart. And then it's going to have a little part where you've done this before, all code red, all one word, and you get 15% off. And that money goes back into code red. And we appreciate your support. And we definitely love the fact that you are reducing eye strain. And then more importantly, you're able to sleep better, which is why we partnered up with Swanwick Sleep. 10poundtakedown.com. That's where you can get a monthly challenge going on. We want to have you in that challenge, guys. We need you. Also,
do we have to stop, Cristy? Oh,
I love this, sis. I know.
No.
Also, we have a lot of after hours events and all over the country going on. I'm sure there's an after hours event that's near you. So if you go to coderedlifestyle.com and you click on events, or you just do / after hours, you're going to see what's going on and where you can come and meet us. You can meet me and Carrie and our coaches and our leaders, our whole team. You can come have dinner with us. It is so much fun. We love after hours events. So please come and meet us. And I know at the time of this recording, we have Code Red Live 2019 coming up, and get your ticket to that as well. So lots and lots and lots of great things going on with Code Red. We'd love to have you involved. Carrie, any last words for?
Oh, Cristy, this is I don't want to go.
I know.
You guys want to hear the extended version? I'm just teasing. But thank you, Cristy. I appreciate you, unpacking this, because it's tough. It's tough to walk the journey. And especially if you feel like you're walking it alone. But the one thing I want to say to you is, even if your family, even if your kids, even if nobody that you're related to supports you, we're here to support you. We're here to support you on this podcast. We're here to support you on our Facebook page. We're here to support you on our lifestyles page. We're here for you. We understand. We've walked your path, and we are here for you.
Yeah, we got it. We've got a lot of platforms, guys. We have YouTube. We have Instagram. We have got so much support for you. Please take advantage. You do not need to do this alone. If your family's not on board, we have got you. We will love you. We'll link arms with you. We'll stand with you. We'll get you through this process, and we're not going anywhere, guys. So thank you for watching. Thank you, Carrie, for being on here.
You're welcome.
Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. Go to coderedlifestyle.com if you want information on our stuff. We can help you. We have lots of programs, lots of options. I've written 4 books. Go and get some help. Thank you, everybody, and have a good one. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. If you're not subscribed already, please be sure to do that right now. And if you enjoyed this episode, I would love it if you could do me a quick favor and rate and review this podcast. That would be just so helpful. Speaking of help, let me know if I can help you. Go to coderedlifestyle.com, check out my programs, and see what we can do for you. Until next time, Rebel on.